last time you mentioned kind of like service work for the community, doing like free
hmm
dates. How's that
hmm
whole situation?
I kind of feel bad. There's a dude that likes me and wants to be in a relationship with me, and I kind of feel bad for him because
Would you say the beans rule your life? So here with Misha. Been,
hello,
man, a few months probably.
yes,
What's new, Misha?
um, well, I don't know. I probably have a different attitude than I did before a little bit about some
Really?
things. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
You seem
yeah,
happy,
yeah,
like
yeah.
energetic, all the good stuff.
hmm
So you still out here?
I'm still out here. Yeah, I guess you know that part hasn't changed, but I don't know. I thinking about just kind of getting straight. You know what I mean? I did it before, all on my own, without any help. You know, from anyone, and I think that's the best. You know, I think I can do that again. You know, just to check in with myself in case like I want to get other work. You know what I mean? Kind
Yeah.
of like I'm gonna need to be kind of level-headed for that sort of thing, and
Facts.
or
Facts.
just not even that so much, but just that I can, what I mean, do it like leisurely instead of having it be a necessity, so to speak.
Yeah, it's a process. It's a process.
Yeah.
And you can do it. You can do it. So when was the last time you were clean or off the streets or whatever?
um. Well, I got on the streets for the first time about 6 years ago.
Okay.
So, and that was the first time on the streets, and I've been on the streets ever since.
Okay. So I remember last time you mentioned kind of like service work for the community, doing like free
hmm
dates. How's that
hmm
whole situation?
Um, I don't know if that's something like, oh, I don't know if that's going to end up being my path, you know what I mean, or not. Like, I think it's really important as a woman to be assertive. I think
Yes.
that whether we were taught that or not, well, sometimes maybe if our mothers were, that's good if they were able to pass it on to their daughters or our daughters. But as I'm growing older as a woman, I realized that some of us that didn't have that maybe taught to us, like, it doesn't matter. We still have to implement that into our lives. And that's really where it's at, I feel like, is that assertiveness.
Yeah.
Being a woman that knows what she needs and what she doesn't need, what she wants, when she doesn't want, and being able to firmly, um, express that, you know, I think that's ever so important, and that's really important being out here on the streets. I realize, you know, otherwise, if you're passive aggressive, that can really do damage to yourself.
You get ate up out here.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, it's good to be assertive.
yes.
And just remember your worth. You know, you're a
Mhm.
beautiful person.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, it seemed like you got
Absolutely.
a good heart.
Mhm.
So has anything crazy happened out here?
Um,
For you?
Not so much. I kind of feel bad. There's a dude that likes me and wants to be in a relationship with me, and I kind of feel bad for him because you know I know that, like, I just don't know if I'm available, for that
Yeah,
sort of thing.
emotionally available,
Yeah, yeah,
mentally available.
yeah,
I get
yeah.
it. Does he live out here too, like on the streets?
Kind of, sorta. I
Okay.
mean, he has his own means of income, so he really doesn't have to be out here, I don't think. But you know, to me, I guess it starts more like with a friendship, sort of thing, like, and I don't know.
Yeah. So you're checking yourself emotionally, like calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
If
absolutely.
if you were ready, or how could I say it? It's like if you were, I guess, emotionally, like if everything was on point for you, do you think
hmm
you would proceed with him?
Honestly, I don't know. Um, I don't know if a relationship is really my position right now. I think if I was on point with everything, I would probably be a little bit more about myself,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so that I can be what I need to be, you know, for everyone else, or just, I do have, a previous relationship that, the person really went through a lot with me, you know what I mean? And for the first half of the relationship, I wasn't completely straight, and then the second half of the relationship, I was. And, um, you know, I would hope that, we could continue something,
Yeah.
in the future,
Yeah.
whether it's this life or the next one,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, as far as like supporting yourself, still doing the dates type thing.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How's that been?
Um. Well, it's been good. You
Yeah.
know. that's actually it's a really good place to be able to practice assertiveness and what
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with, what I'm not comfortable with.
Yeah.
You know.
The yes, the no's. Communication's huge.
Yes. Yes.
Communication's huge. Know your
Protection.
boundaries.
Yes. Being
Yeah.
safe.
Have you had to protect yourself
Yes. Yes.
recently?
Yes. I've been very much, you know, realizing how important that is every single time and implementing that. You know.
Yeah. So tell me that story.
What?
Like, tell me that story. How you had to protect yourself. Is it like physically you had to protect yourself?
Well, just physically protecting yourself. You know, being safe. You know.
Sure.
You know,
Okay.
just so, you know, that's just important all around. You know, for
Has
you know,
any of
physical encounters.
yeah.
You know?
Has anybody like kind of fell in love with you out here? Like people you meet, like while you're working?
Not so much.
Not necessarily fall in love, but try to change you. I hear a lot of that.
Yeah, I don't really. I hope that anybody who gets to know me probably knows that I'm not changeable. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
True, I'm stubborn.
Are you a Virgo?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm Virgo. I'm stubborn too.
Okay.
I get it. So what have you spoke to family at all? People?
Well, you know, that's a sensitive situation. I really don't have contact with them, and so I feel like my challenge is they want me to contact them and not focus on the fact of, you know, physically where they are, just more of a spiritual connection, and then just strengthening that.
Yeah.
You know, as difficult as that may be, you know.
So what's it gonna take for Misha to get it together? To get out of here.
Well, I just, you know, I'll be interested to see, you know, what the next, you know, couple months bring. You know what I mean? If I'm just gonna stay where I'm at, or if I'm actually gonna try to straighten out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Understandable. It's like day by day.
Yeah, it's day by day.
Do you feel like before I went to treatment in 2018, I was getting tired. I was like over it, just like I was telling the other girl right here. Are you kind of getting tired of this life at all, or you're just not there yet?
Yeah, that's not so much it. I'm not really. It's not so much that I'm tired of the lifestyle. I just don't think that anything at all should be rule my life. You know, so much that you know I can't have a hold on it. You know, and part of that is being able to just you know let up on it for any time being. You know, just to show myself that I can. You know, and that I'm willing to.
Would you say the beans rule your life?
Oh,
because I know how hard that grip is.
No, in a way that's saying the pain rules my life, because I feel like I doing them because there was something that was hurting me, and it helped me when I felt like there wasn't anybody else around. There wasn't anybody really there for me, but they were there for me, and it did help me.
The beans were there for you.
Yeah, it did
That's
help
real talk.
that pain. You know what I mean?
I get it.
You know, even if it was self, you know, medicated. So for me, you know, that's how I feel about that. But, you know, other, you know, substances, you know, I feel like, you know, it's a big circle, I guess. I don't know. You know, it's whether or not do I want to be, you know, natural and go with my garden and you know, be like a flower girl, a flower woman, a flower child, you know, whatever, or, you know, you know, go with the whole medical in the laboratory, you know, type way of medicine, so to speak.
Like so natural or like a rehab type environment.
Yeah.
Is a flower
or
girl like a hippie kind of?
Maybe a little bit of a hippie.
Yeah. Natural.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I guess last question. What do you think people should know, like, about either this type of work or just being on the streets?
Well, just that, you know, their support is helpful, you know what I mean? And it's cool to know when people are paying attention for whatever reason, you know what I mean? And that, you know, just that somebody was listening to the interview, you know what I mean? Like, that's cool, that's crazy, but that's neat. I think that it's you know, it can be inspiring.
You had a lot of good comments. Like, a lot of people, they could tell you're a good person. You got a good heart. And just remember your worth, you know?
Yeah.
If you remember anything from meeting me, just remember your worth, your value. Like, I'm not telling you what to do. I don't tell anybody what to do. Like,
Mhm.
get off the streets now, because I know that didn't work for me. You know?
Right.
But just never give up hope,
Okay.
and just
Exactly.
stay happy.
Yes.
Find what makes Misha happy.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
All right.
Mhm.
So, lastly, if your family or anybody that knows you sees this, what do you want to tell them? That'd be the last question.
Just that I love them very much, and you know, that I'm okay, and that, you know, they're always, you know, in my heart and on my mind, and
Okay.
you know.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Misha.
Okay.
Good seeing you.
Yeah.